Car bases when hunting up in North Texas. Landowner reports hog activity out in his newly planted hayfield, and sure enough, we've got some fresh rooting. And on some of the bare spots, we've got fresh tracks. It rained, just early yesterday at this point, and so those are fresh tracks. This is an overview of the area that I'm hunting for this night. And I'm at the base of this large hill. And that's where I'm going to shoot the hog. And as we pan on around, that's where the rooting was. And then over here is where all the hog tracks were. And then down in front is this rut. There are ruts all over this hillside. Some of them are easily seen, like this one, which would not be easily seen in the dark, however. Then others are almost completely unseen, such as this one that's knee deep. Want to be careful walking around in the dark. The hog has no trouble walking around in the dark. The wind's in my favor at this point, and he's just making his way down the hill towards me as I'm getting video with my Bering Optics Super Yoter LRF. And I'm going to be shooting a 6.5 Grindle with the silencer Co-Omega. Here we go. And that puts a Hornady SST 123 grain bullet loaded by Druid Hill Armory into Starline Brass right into his noggin.
Brass Catcher by Tactical Brass Recovery.
Alright, I had a couple minutes here which I got the gun unloaded, and I'm going to go up the hill and check on my hog. I have sped up the video ever so slightly and do all the documentation. Turned out to be a nice sized boar coming in at 230 pounds. Another night and another property. You're looking at rooting done the previous night by hogs. They went under the hot wire that you see in the foreground and just rooted up all of the side yard area. Landowner contacted me later that morning, said, hey, hogs have been in. I said, okay, I'll be up there this evening. Well, I was actually on another property when he called and said, hey, hogs are at the house right now. My cousin's there and she can hear them out in the east pasture. It took me a little while before I could get up there. It took me about 30 minutes, I think. Finally got up there, parked northeast corner of the property, and the whole northeast side of the property is blocked by trees. Hiked in about 100 yards with my gear, came into the parking area in front of the little house on the property where there's a nice security light. Went to the fence, got lined up in the hogs. Then I heard the cousin yell to me. She called out my name. And I shushed her, which I shouldn't have done, but that's what you're going to hear at the start of the video as I'm getting lined up on the hogs. And that's where things will start. Shh! So she's on the front porch just off to the right about 20 yards. She was expecting me, but she didn't know exactly when. And then I just sort of appeared out of the darkness. Alright, here we go. That shot should have been higher. I should have let these go. Nope. As they're in the high grass. Final quality assurance shot. And I've got 3 hogs down. I came away with 2 boars and a shote, and they did not do it for my night. I managed to get on hogs one more time, didn't get video, but came away with a 235-pound boar and a 40-pound female. This landowner contacted me, said that hogs were hitting his pivot field again. So I've got a boar there in the distance. How far?
Alright, well the hog is somewhere between 89 and 1,100 yards.
And this is one of those problems where the laser rangefinder isn't quite reading the hog. It's reading the ground in front of the hog or the trees behind the hog, but not quite picking up the hog itself, and so we don't have an exact reading on the hog. Alright, I've moved up about 50 or 60 yards, and I'm ranging the hog. It's up there about 210 yards or so. So getting to within shooting distance, but I decide that I don't want to use the picture-in-picture feature. And so I'm going to go into the menu system and go down and turn off the picture-in-picture function. And boom, it's gone. I'm going to move up one more time. Just taking my time getting lined up on the hog, getting comfortable. Alright, here we go. One shot the hog goes down with a shot to the head. And that's going to be a 170-pound boar. And then I'm getting video here with my Nocpix Vista H50R that I got from Tech Savvy Optics. There's my landscape boar there in the pivot field. Got some cattle over here off in the distance. And that's all that's going on here. On to my next property, and I've got hogs there in the front pasture right by the driveway that I'd like to be going in on. I'm getting video here from the neighbor's property. And here I've walked into the driveway and the hogs have moved off. And they're heading towards the tree line. So I'm going to go ahead and get lined up on one in the back and see what I can do. Here we go. It goes down, I overlead the second hog, and then I see what's going on here. This is again in slow motion. We've got a deer there. Got another deer right there. So I'm not going to be shooting anymore at the running hogs with the deer in the background behind them. And the last hog of the hunt was a 150-pound boar. Carpe sus, my friends.